Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to part 3 of this introduction series to Sunflower Land expansion. You're going to see a few changes in this video. The first is that the font has changed. Also, you can see there is a new landing screen when you log into the game. It's going to ask us to connect our Web3 wallet if we want to play. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we should be very close to having our food finished for our pumpkin soup. And we're going to go ahead and just check on that. There we go. We've got a minute and a half left. So we're just going to recap whilst we're waiting. We've started with our sunflowers. We progressed onto our potatoes. And we have just got to our pumpkins. Now, as you can see, we've sold all of our items here and we've converted it into food. So in a minute's time, they're going to be finished. So whilst we're waiting for that last one, we're just going to click on our pumpkin. We're going to eat the one we currently have, 24 experience. You can see that there. If I eat a second one, there we go. You can now see we're at 49 out of 65. So one more, which is just here, and we'll be level 3. All right, so we're going to go and check. We've got 40 seconds left. So once we get to level 3, that's going to allow us to open a new building, which is the workbench. We can't expand our land yet because we need to be level 4 and we need the tools to get the wood and the stone, which we'll get from our workbench. So we're going to have quite a bit of work to do now, chopping down trees, collecting stone. We'll talk about that in just a few seconds. We're also going to be continuing to plant crops so that we can get our food. And that food is going to allow us to get up to level 4 because we're going to need that as well. So this is our next goal. Once we get to level 4, it's going to open up the water well, which is a new building. So the workbench is what we're after now. We're going to click on our pumpkin, eat the food, and we're now level 3. Okay, awesome. So now we have the ability to put down a new building. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to go and drop the workbench. We need to just find a little place for it to go. So we're going to put it just here. Okay, the workbench is down. It's going to be ready in 1 minute. All right, so whilst the workbench is down, I can now see what food I have available. I've now got beetroot seeds and cabbage seeds. That means I can look at the food that is now available to me. So before, I had mashed potato that gave me 3 experience, pumpkin soup, which gave me 24. I can now do a pumpkin broth, which is going to give me 96 experience. There's also eggs. I can't do those right now, but that would give me 90 experience. So this is what I want. 90 experience for 20 minutes, and it requires 10 carrots and 5 cabbages. So we can click here. We can see that we have cabbages, and we can also see that we have carrot seeds. Perfect. So what we're going to do in order to do this, 10 carrots and 5 cabbages. Now, we can only put down a total of 9 in here and 4 in here. So we're going to go ahead and do the 10 let me just check. The 5 cabbages, and we're going to do 10 carrots because with the cabbages, take a little bit longer to cook, to get ready. So we can see here that the carrots take 1 hour and the cabbages take 2 hours. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here 10. Okay, that's enough for 1 meal. Perfect. So you may not be able to do this because you may not have enough SFL at the start, which means you may have to work your way up again with your timers until you're at the position where you can do this. All right, so let's go and do this then. So we're going to put our carrots in the ground. There we go. There's our 10. We've got 3 of these as well. So here we go. So 59 minutes here and an hour here. I can now click on our blacksmith. He's going to give me a few different items. First is going to be an axe. I can craft an axe to chop down a tree and you can see that I have 3 trees. Now again, if you haven't got enough SFL, you will have to work up to this by planting your crops. That is one way that you can do it. So we're going to go ahead and craft 3 axes. With the axes in my inventory, I can now chop down my trees, and they take 3 hits. If at any point you move away from that, you'll have to start it again. So, there we go. Let's do the next one. Okay, you can see I'm getting 1 wood every time I chop the tree down. So there we go, 3 trees have been chopped down, and it takes 2 hours for them to recover. I'm going to go back to my blacksmith, and I'm now going to upgrade. So now look, I want to get a pickaxe. Now in order to get a pickaxe, I need 5 wood. So I need to wait for the trees to recover. I then need to use the axe to chop them down again. I can then use some SFL and some wood to make a pickaxe. I'm going to need 2 pickaxes to get my stone. So now you can see the 2 core game loops. The first is feeding your pumpkin to get your experience. That is done by crops. Crops make food, food goes to your pumpkin levels up. At the same time, we also need to take some food, and instead of using it for XP, we need to sell it. Selling it in the shop gives us SFL, which allows us to buy tools. Tools can be used to farm resources. Resources are needed to upgrade or to expand our land. So that's what we are currently doing. That's where we are right now. We are in this core game loop where in order to expand our land, we're going to need to plant our crops, to get enough SFL, to upgrade our crops, so that we can get our experience that we need to get to level 4. And then we need to make sure we have enough crops to sell, to be able to get our tools, to be able to farm our land. And I would recommend doing a bit of both, having some crops that you sell and some that you use for experience, so that you have enough to constantly keep these nodes refreshed. That way you'll be getting the items that you need at the same time as getting your experience. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we currently are. We're going to stop the video here. We're going to continue to farm this core game loop, and we'll start the next video, which will be the final video of this series, as soon as we have enough resources to be able to expand. So I'm going to get my pumpkin to level 4, and I'm going to make sure I have 20 wood, 5 stone, and I will be level 4. I'm going to continue to do this until I get there, and then we'll start the next video.